Welcome back to AEHL Rinkside. Troy Gillard with you once again. Very pleased to be joined this time around by Jon Petrash, the head coach of the Calgary Royals U17 AAA squad. Jon, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, thanks, Troy. Appreciate it.
Taking a look at the standings in your division, a pretty good start to the year so far as we sit here. You've won 3 out of the first 4. Just how are things going so far this season?
It's been a good start so far. We got a good group, hardworking kids, and it's obviously a long way to go now from now to the end of the season, but it's been a good start and happy with the results so far.
Yeah, if you're going to go play all those games, you might as well win them, right? So any wins that you can bank early on in the season, that's going to pay dividends later on.
Absolutely. No, and it gets the good confidence for the boys too. So that's always important.
For sure. Now, this is the first year for U17 AAA under the AEHL banner. You've had a few years experience at the U16 AAA level with the Royals program. Just what have you seen so far? I know it's still early and whatnot, but what have you seen early on with the switch from the U16 to the U17 age group?
You know what? It's been more competitive. I really feel like it's been tighter games. The pace back and forth is a lot more competitive as far as the speed and right now you really see those older kids, the 16-year-olds stepping up and really taking, precedent right now over the 15-year-olds in some cases. So, but really I like the pace of it. I think it's going to elevate the competition in the long run of the season. So it's going to be fun to see how the season progresses. I know the South Division looks to be, anyone can win it at this point right now. So it's been fun and I really like it so far. It's a good step, and I think it's a good move for Hockey Alberta to go to U17.
Yeah, and I think the key word you did bring up there is parity. That competitive balance is important when you've got players trying to develop themselves at the elite level and carry forward playing this game. It's key to have that parity to kind of enhance that competition for them.
Yeah, and I think it's great for the 16-year-olds who can still play AAA level and gives them that extra year of AAA to maybe next year move up to U18 AAA. So it's a good step and it shows the 15-year-olds, what it takes to make it to the next level too as well. And I like it. It's a great step.
For sure. And also kind of nice for you because I know you had a good year last year at the U16 AAA level with the Calgary Royals. I believe you guys won your division and finished the second overall in the province. So kind of a neat opportunity for you there to build on some success, I'm guessing, with some of the same players you had from last year.
Yeah, we have 8 players back. So obviously I wish they would have made U18 at this point, but we also had a good chunk. I think 6 to 7 kids moved up to U18 as well. So I think it's a testament to them. They learned a lot last year and had some fun with the season and enjoyed the successes. And overall, I mean, it was a blast of a year. Not often you get to go to a provincial championship. So we enjoyed it. Sucks that we lost in the end of it, but CAC was a good team and no hard feelings obviously with that. Just live and learn and try to get better and maybe go back this year. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. So best of both worlds. You get to bring some of those guys back, add some new guys in to build on that success at this new age group. And then, like you say, promoting some of those guys to the U18 AAA level, where hopefully they're building on their success and having fun so far this year at that level.
Yeah, they're doing great up there too. U18 is having a good run of it. They're being successful with the players too. And, it's great to see. I love seeing that kind of stuff.
Tell us a little bit about your background. Born and raised Calgary, and I understand. I'm guessing you grew up playing the game, and then what kind of got you into the coaching ranks to start with?
So I played all the way through. I went to the KI, played a little bit in the AJ for the Canucks, and ended up going down to play club hockey down in for Adrian College in ACHA Division 1. Did that for a season, and pretty much right after that point, I kind of got the coaching itch, essentially from seeing things from the bench point of view a little bit more at that level, being a freshman in college. So it opened up my eyes a little bit, and decided to move back home. And I had a few buddies call up an old coach that they knew, and he asked me to be an assistant. And 10 years later, here I am. So it's been a fun time. I love coaching. It's a passion of mine, and it's funny when my old coach, he said, you'll love the game, coaching more than you love playing now. And I couldn't agree more. I love coaching. So it's a different perspective by any means, but it's been a lot of fun and enjoyed every year so far.
Who was that coach that got you started on your path behind the bench?
Derek Bell. So he's with the Calgary Royals also. He's with the Junior B team. And
Nice.
I've been with the Royals for all 10 of my seasons now too. So it's unlikely for a lot of coaches to stay with the same association for that long, but it's the Royals have been great for me, and I've enjoyed my time with them.
Yeah, it's certainly nice to have that much continuity, whether you're a player or coach or whatever. Having that sort of level of confidence, I guess, behind you from the Royals organization certainly has to be a great feeling.
It is. It's been fun, and it's nice having that backing too. And they trust me, and they have the confidence in me, and I appreciate all that from them. I couldn't be here without them.
You mentioned too that you played a year for the Calgary Canucks. I'm guessing you would have played under Don Phelps back in the day.
I did. It was his last season as a coach, right. So that was a fun season. And I mean, we weren't very good by any means, but the team was, it's unlikely when you hear a team be tight knit, but for being a losing team, we were pretty tight knit, and a lot of good buddies on that team, and we had some fun, but we didn't do very good, unfortunately. So.
Well, at the same time, you can say that you played for one of the all-time legends in the junior A coaching ranks, and no doubt you would have picked up a few things playing for him for that year.
Yeah, it was great. He gave me an opportunity, and again, thankful for him, and he allowed me to play at that level, and hopefully I showcased well for that. And playing for the Canucks too was kind of nice, playing at home and kind of having that history behind you and who's played there before too was nice. And so all of it all together was a good experience, and I have no regrets playing for them. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Getting to play for one of those legacy organizations in the AJHL, that's pretty cool to have on your resume for sure. Another thing you have on your resume, John, is having been on the coaching staff or one of the coaches at the 2022 Prospects Cup for Hockey Alberta. How'd you enjoy that experience, and what were some of the big takeaways you took from that event?
Yeah. So that was great. We had a great coaching staff. So Chris Williams, who's now with the Calgary Royals U18 team. So we were together there. So we got to get a good head start on the season ahead and working together. So he was great to work with and see how we prepared for games and teams and how to prepare for evaluations and those kind of things. And we had Morgan Klimchuk as well on the assistant coaching staff. So me and him would, bounce good ideas off each other. And I thought it was a great experience overall. The kids were great. Tournament was great, and ended up winning bronze with the team, Calgary White. And hopefully going back this year or wherever the Alberta Cup. So we'll see what happens down the road. But it's I loved my time with it and learned a lot.
Yeah, and obviously pretty cool that Hockey Alberta and the AEHL by extension not only offers that chance for players to showcase themselves at those events, but to coaches as well to apply what you've learned so far and pick up some great things along the way.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, I learned a lot from those coaches and seeing how a lot of the top coaches ran their practices or the games or the bench management. And you see that and you kind of, okay, I need to tweak this or I should tweak that or things like that. So it's eye-opening in a way, and you have a lot of respect for those guys that you're learning from.
Who are some of the NHL or pro coaches out there that you watch from afar and try and pick some stuff up from? Who are some of the coaches you like?
I'll get a good chuckle out of this, but Tortorella, I don't know why, but Torts, watching him coach kind of makes me, kind of idolize him in a way. I think, the way he respects the players, but pushes them to a point where he wants the best for them. And guys like Barry Trotz were guys who I liked, watching as far as seeing how they did things. I'm in no way of this way, but Sutter's also one of those guys that makes it entertaining to watch and see how he operates the bench. So there's guys like that. And then Cooper as well. I mean, that's a pretty obvious choice with that, but there's so many good coaches now to learn from, and it's a lot of fun. There's not one way to coach anymore.
Yeah, a lot of Stanley Cups with those coaches you mentioned too. So if you're going to learn from guys at that level, might as well learn from the very best. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's funny watching the press conferences too.
Yeah, exactly. For all sorts of reasons, for sure. Any sort of favorite players when you were growing up as a hockey fan, a favorite team, favorite players and stuff?
As a player, I mean, I would say, there's certain players. Obviously, Crosby was one of the guys that I watched from when he was 15, 16 years old. And so it's been very cool seeing his whole career kind of unfold, and now near the tail end of it all, right? It's kind of, it almost makes you, realize how time flies and all that. But so Crosby was one of those guys, obviously Duncan Keith, and even guys under the radar. Andrew Ference is another one who I like to watch and see how they played and kind of try to roll my game around them as well. So it certain things like that were the players I watched, and so it was great.
Yeah, you've been watching hockey a long time. When he goes from being Sid the Kid, he's just Sid now in his mid-30s, all those years under his belt. So time flies for sure. Hey, I was checking out Twitter and I saw a picture of your boys. They went mountain climbing the other day up Mount Allen, and I believe that was about a 17-kilometer trek. I guess the obvious question, or 17-kilometer trek, the obvious question being, were you on that trek or did you just get the picture to share?
I made the trek. I didn't make it to the peak though. The peak was I made it right to the base of that next little climb there. But you know what? It was a good team builder. It was about 1,600 meters of elevation. So it was a grind to go on up the hill or up the mountain, I should say. And funny enough, we had a game 2 days later, so I'm sure there were some sore legs, but we ended up thankfully getting the win after that. But overall, it was a good experience, and it was one of those ones that we wanted to put the boys into a scenario where they didn't have phones around them, they didn't have anything. It was just them and hanging out with the team and enjoying that moment. Because to us, how many times are you going to get an opportunity to climb a mountain as a team? So
yeah, literally this time, not just the figure of speech, right?
Yeah, no, and it was a perfect day for being in mid-October, so it was awesome.
No, that was beauty. I just happened to come across that picture on Twitter getting ready for this chat, and thought that was pretty cool. Not a kind of team building experience that, really players outside of Calgary are ever going to get. So good on you for
exactly.
Yeah. No, for sure. Take advantage of it. Way to get the boys up there. Hey, John, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate you taking the time. Thanks for doing this, and all the best going forward this season and beyond.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Troy. Thanks so much.